when you are on the Drytron strategy. And yes, indeed, you're reading correctly. Drytron undefeated 4-0 here in this tournament currently.
And lately, there has been a trend towards going for a Dark Magician, Chaos Dark Magician Max.
Yes.
To basically stop your opponent from activating effects on their turn. But Ricardo isn't even playing that.
No,
right?
He's like playing a pretty basic build. He's returning to the original way of playing the deck by including the Herald of Perfection. And that's like the only boss monster I want to say that he's kind of ending on. And besides that, he's just going for some more extra deck stuff. For example, Appaloosa is probably going to be on his field if he's comboing off. And a bunch of other Link monsters like IP Masquerena and stuff. SP Little Knight, of course, is also a nice addition that he can go for. But first of all, we start with preparation of rides, and he immediately grabbed the Herald that I was talking about.
Yeah, I mean, Herald of Perfection is pretty much the only boss monster you need, isn't it? It can negate any number of cards, so long as you have a fairy for each one.
Okay, and he starts off with one of the one-off Drytron monsters he's playing, and it's Drytron Delta Altace. And he has also opened the Cyber Angel Benton. I mean, he could have also switched it with the preparation of rights, but he already had it available to himself. So the Delta itself is not going to do that much, but of course the Benton now is going to activate its effect in the graveyard, searching a fairy from his deck, and he decided that he wants Diviner of the Herald here.
I'd love to see him just send a Kelbeck off the Diviner.
That would be pretty cool, but I don't think that's going to happen, no. Usually.
Diviner of the Herald has been an absolute staple in every kind of ritual deck, and of course also in tier element decks for some reason. And now we're going to see the best normal summon for each ritual deck. It was Manju of the Thousand Hands.
Some years ago, yeah, some years ago indeed.
It has a sort of similar effect of, I mean, in a roundabout way, it adds you pretty much any ritual monster or spell, but the upside of this obviously is you get a level 6 tuner.
Ooh, look at that. I mean, we are usually going to send the Herald here in this version of the deck, so we're usually not sending from our deck. I don't even know whether there's a target he could send from the deck, but he's instead sending the Herald of Arclight, and therefore he's able to search himself either a ritual monster or a ritual spell card, and he did indeed go for the ritual spell card for the Dawn of the Herald, interestingly enough. So I think he just wants to make sure to have that Herald on the field as soon as possible so he can negate some other stuff. And now the Dawn of the Herald in the graveyard triggers to get him the Benton back to his hand. That's huge.
I think it was also chained to the Benton effect already. Kind of like that interaction.
Oh.
And that is a lot of interaction already.
Indeed. Kazalak is not happy looking right now.
I mean, the Herald is just a fairy, right? They're all the same. Once you have a Herald of Perfection in play, it kind of perfects all of your other fairies.
Yeah. He's now building around that one card that he already has on the field. And I mean, he played around Nibiru here perfectly well, because Nibiru this weekend seems very popular. And I want to say in almost all of our featured matches so far, we have seen Nibiru, and a lot of players are running it at least in a side deck, and a lot of them even in the main deck. But Nibiru not a factor here anymore.
Is this the end for Ricardo?
Maybe it is. I don't know.
Maybe it's also the start of something
bigger. It is, though. We are passing it over. Ricardo did not have access to Alpha or Beta in terms of his Drytron monsters, and therefore he has to just pass on IP Masquerena and Herald. Interesting.
How many fairies do you think he's got? He's got at least Ben 10 and Herald, which he's added, and then I don't know any more.
Yeah, I don't know any more either.
We're pointing at the IP Masquerena. I cannot imagine that he is going to use its effect.
That would be interesting. Yeah, just immediately linking away your Herald.
It would be too easy with a Herald. Let's go into SP Little Knight and banish.
We do
nothing.
indeed instantly negate the activation of the prison there. Normal summoning out the Rakea. Rakea would be big enough to attack over the IP Masquerena here, which could be scary.
Interestingly, these Unchained monsters are very annoying for the Herald.
Yeah,
because if you negate and destroy, then there's another effect that you then have to negate afterwards.
That's true, indeed. So Ricardo, I think, is just asking that. He's asking him, if I do negate and destroy that, is it going to activate its effect, or could it activate its effect? And that indeed is the case, as you were just saying. So I think you just wait for him to resolve the effect, and then in the graveyard you can still negate the trap effect. But no, we do negate it with the Herald of the... No, we don't negate it with the Herald of the Orange Light, but we discard that for the effect of the Herald of Perfection there.
And now we are going to see the effect of Rakea activated, right?
It should, yeah. It definitely should. Perfection is destroying, right? Just confirming.
I mean,
that.
it's in the graveyard now. It would be really strong if we negated the effect. But oh, we are also negating the grave effect right here.
Wow.
But I really like the line that you suggested earlier to just negate the trap card effect or the spell card effect in the graveyard that Rakea wanted to destroy.
For sure.
Can Herald negate effects of trap cards?
Let me just
that's
see.
also a very good point.
Because some older cards, they often negate spells and traps.
You can't. You only on activation of cards. That is the issue there. So Ricardo kind of was forced to do this here. And now Kazalak is going to look at the top 6 cards of his deck through Product of Prosperity and find plenty of ways to still keep on playing. In general, the field that Ricardo created there with the IP Masquerena and the Herald is kind of weird because you have that super, super powerful monster on the field and you have IP Masquerena, which would need to link this one away, which he's going to do now. He's giving it up and we are bringing out the Aspie Little Knight there.
Okay, that is rather interesting to me, because now if a Shavara is being picked up, you can just as well chain the Shavara if the trap card is supposed to be banished.
Yeah, that's true. So we are going to take the Dark Contract there. That has been a popular package in the Unchained deck. We are playing that little Dark Contract package, the DDD package. Ooh, SP. He pointed towards SP, but...
It might just be saying he's activating the effect.
Oh, okay, yeah, just to banish, of course, yeah. We are going to banish the... Yep, it is the trap. It is Escape of the Unchained, so we at least managed to get rid of that. But there is still the card we just added, the card I just mentioned, the Dark Contract.
It's gonna get out the Requiem. Requiem.
Yeah, the Vice King has been added.
This is such a powerful card going second as well. Just summons a big monster without needing any normal summon, any commitment really. You just put it in the spell and trap card zone and then you turn it into a... I don't even know the name of the big DDD monster anymore, and I shouldn't have said that.
I mean, yeah, I think we needed to respond to that, because now we can just run over the SP. We should have responded to the effect in the scale, because this does not activate. You can just put Video's Machinex on top of it. It's a regular Exceed summon, basically, and now we have a big monster on the field which can deal with the SP, and also is a threat to our opponent in the next turn as an interruption. So that really, that SP didn't put in too much work. Yes, we banished the Escape of the Unchained, but still, we let our opponent get to this point here.
Are you able to banish SP by itself? Because there was no other monsters when...
You can, okay. Absolutely.
Part of the strength of SP Little Knight, it just works by itself, all alone, still an interruption. Getting rid of 2 cards.
Oh no, wait, but you have to target 2 monsters. Yeah, you're right, Tom. You need to target 2 monsters for the second effect. The first one can banish anything, but you do need to target 2 monsters.
Is SP not a monster?
Yeah, but there was
no monster on the other side of the field.
That's what you mean.
At that point, yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering if it needed...
Oh, but I mean, then
monsters.
we kind of had to do... Yeah, no, there was
right,
no really good timing.
You have to return the card as well, yeah. That's a good point.
There was no really good timing to do that, honestly. Kazalak played that kind of nicely. Not gonna lie.
There's another escape, just a set. Now it's going to be destroyed, and now we're just going for our full combo. I don't even think that Ricardo has any follow-up anymore.
I mean, normally you want to rely on Alpha and Beta and so on in the graveyard, but he just didn't have access to any of those. So it is really rough.
Now we're going into a Yama right here, and Shavara was used for that. Yama is going to be used as well. This is a lot of advantage that Kazalak is going to build up right here.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see basically it's sort of full first turn combo, right?
Yeah.
Seems like it for sure. So, Kazalak from Croatia trying to come here to Italy and defeating the plenty of Italian players that are attending this event. Even in the feature match, you have seen that there is really a lot of them competing here this weekend, which is not really a surprise, but Croatia right around the corner from Italy, so wasn't that far of a ride for him probably, and he's also doing really, really well here in this tournament and also here in this game 1. Shayama going to get into the circle there as well, being summoned off of one of his Unchained effects. And that's all looking really, really good right now for Kazalak. He's enjoying himself.
Then we have the Unchained Soul of Rage now. Going to set that one by using Sarama, I suppose. And we're going to easily add back a card, the Shavara off of the Unchained Soul of Rage. Are we going to activate the Yama off of that? No, we are going into another Shayama and we're destroying the Sarama. Sarama now being able to trigger and summon out another Shavara from the deck if you want to go into the next DDD monster.
And that apparently is the plan. There is the second rank 6, level 6 monster, and that is going to result in DDD Wave King High Caesar, which is a rank 6 van, of course.
Interestingly, there's not that many effects that special summon. I think all of the Drytrons are inherent summons.
No, they definitely do activate.
Oh, they do activate?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
well, I'm glad you told me. I was completely wrong on that.
And I mean, also, you can just go after Drytron Nova and stuff, so I think there are definitely a lot of applications. Cyber Emergency, though, one of the cards you cannot do anything about.
Yeah, if you try to negate it, the opponent is still going to get a search off of that, because it's one of the cards that states if the activation is negated, then you can get another effect. I don't think that Ash Blossom work. I think it is solely the activation that has to be negated.
Ash Blossom does work on Cyber Emergency, yeah, for sure.
What a good card.
That's like a really unique thing. I don't think any other cards are like, if their activation is negated, they just do something else.
Yeah. But that's how Cyber Emergency is worded, for sure.
Yeah. No, I'm just wondering if there's any other cards that have that kind of effect.
Not really, most likely. It's pretty unique in that, you're right. So we did resolve the Cyber Emergency, but the thing is, like, we only have 2 cards in hand, and like all of our Drytron monsters in the graveyard require to discard something. Look, yeah, there. Oh, okay. We are discarding the Alpha for the effect of Delta, and that's just immediately going to be negated.
And now the Shavara is being detached.
All right, so next on the list. Anything else left in the tank for Ricardo? One more card. Is it going to help him? Is he going to do something? Ooh. It is triple tactic talent, so that's the start. Is he going to take the Caesar, making himself a Zeus maybe? Is that the way to go? Or what is he trying here? Is he trying to go for a Destiny draw too? Let's see.
He kind of has to, right? I mean, I gotta read the escape again, but if he tries to take over the monster with talents, you can just use escape, destroy the talents.
Yep, and then Yama and the graveyard triggers, and you're not really in a position where you can do anything anymore. I do agree. I think you have to draw here. And Ricardo looks like he's also realizing exactly that.
Maybe he could look at Kalizat's hand just to throw everyone off.
just to see what's left there.
But no, just take from the hand.
Oh, yeah, he wants to draw. He realizes that is his only way to maybe get back into this game. And I mean, he's playing cards like Kurikara in his main deck, so you could just get rid of the Caesar like that and then have another Drytron monster, maybe a Benton from the top, and that could be really good there.
Ricardo looks like there is a way for him to play. I think there was one spell card. This might be the Preparation of Rites, one of the best ritual cards.
There is the Kurikara I was just talking about! Goodbye, Caesar! Kurikara now on the field. That's huge. Doesn't activate, can just tribute the Caesar. That's very strong. Activate, of course, the effect of Shavara there in the graveyard. Oh no, we activate the effect of Caesar actually to search up a contract instead.
I am getting flashbacks from YCS London, where Samir Pasha went for 2 Kurikaras.
Oh my, look at that!
It is the Preparation of Rites. That is the best 2 cards that he could have drawn. There's no way for Kazalats to destroy something right now. I think he has multiple cards in hand, so maybe there is a Shavara as a follow-up. I'm pretty sure there is a Shavara as follow-up.
The annoying thing, though, is that the ritual spell that was used last turn was banished through its own effect. Therefore, we cannot add it back anymore with the Preparation of Rites. That's a little bit of an issue here. So only adding the Benton, which is pretty good still, though.
Yeah, you have an Alpha in the graveyard, if I remember correctly, and now you can profit off of that Benton effect, tributing it from hand, basically. Or is it Delta?
Did he activate the Alpha already?
There is the Alpha. No, we discarded it to activate the effect of something else, which was negated then. And now the Alpha is free to activate its effect, and is also resolving, apparently. So we are going to search with Alpha and then also search with Benton, and all of a sudden, with 1 card left in hand, it looked almost unwinnable, but Ricardo coming back into this game, like, majorly. I think he has a good shot at coming back and maybe even sealing the deal here this turn.
Well, you have to not count out the Unchained deck. You've always got, there might be we know there's an escape, but there might be a Chamber face down as well, or a Shavara in hand. There's so much you can, like, you think you've got through it, and then it just seems to come back out of nowhere.
I think actually there is a lot of interruption right here, because the card on the left from Kazalats should be the Chamber.
Yeah.
You can't activate it right now, but you have Shavara in hand last turn as follow-up from the Link 2. You can activate Shavara, pop that set card. You can summon out the big Unchained monster. I'm getting confused with the names now. That pops something.
Abominable Unchained Soul.
Abominable, exactly. You also have the Yama in the graveyard as well with the Soul. So there is a lot you can do, and of course the escape as well.
And look at that, we are searching for Choju, which is a pretty unusual card, because this card is really supposed to be tribute summoned. You rarely see a level 6 monster being tributed in nowadays Yu-Gi-Oh! But I mean, we have not normal summoned yet, so we may as well. And then on the summon of Choju, if this card is summoned, you can add 1 ritual monster and 1 ritual spell from your deck to your hands.
I just want to see what the next iteration of this, the level 8, I don't know how many hands it's going to have. Because it started with 1,000 and then 10,000, now we have 1 trillion.
Yeah, and we're immediately going for a pop 2 right here, Abominable Unchained Soul, and as well the escape of the Unchained to get rid of the Kurikara, and as well the Alpha, of course, that you can't tribute anything. And there is the fist bump. We're going into game 2.
Kezalak. His options against the Drytron strategy are plenty. He's not only side decking the main enemy Droll and Lockbird for the deck, but also Dimension Shifter as well. So he's prepared. 3 copies of both of that. Not really what Ricardo likes to see. And Ricardo also is shaking his head. But, I mean, starting off with Foolish Burial doesn't seem too bad. And that seems like there is no Dimension Shifter, because I believe we would have changed the Dimension Shifter there right away.
Yeah, you might hold it for a little bit longer, you know.
Just to play around the Gamma, the one on Gamma, cheeky one, which you cannot really even use in Drytron because you're not allowed. Oh, wait, can you? No, you cannot.
No. You
cannot summon out the driver.
You cannot special summon out, or you can summon out the driver, you can't summon out the Gamma. You cannot special summon monsters that can't be normal summoned.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is a thing I definitely knew.
Great. Okay,
5 minutes ago.
there we go. So it seems like Ricardo has a better setup this time, to be honest. He got a way to bring one of his desired Drytron monsters into the graveyard. He now also has access to Benton.
Let's guess the Drytron name now.
Is that the first search we are doing? I think so, right? So Droll and Lockbird would need to come down here, but Kezalak is just enjoying himself, not really looking like he wants to interact with Ricardo at all. I think Kezalak is just all laid back right now, 1 game up. Let's see what my opponent does here, and having a good time. Okay, so Meteonis Drytron, the other ritual spell of the deck, has been added to the hand.
Looking good so far, I want to say. I don't know where he wants to go with this combo, but I mean, the last field was kind of impressive already. However, 3 negates was just not enough, but we are able to go for a normal summon right here.
Yeah, Choju of the Trillion Hands is being added to his hand as he had a last game, but last game it was a little too late. But now setting up the field, getting more and more stuff into his hand before his opponent has the chance to play is going to be a huge advantage, and therefore Choju here is, I think, way more impactful than it was in the last game.
Activate Domain of the True Monarchs. Let's go. Also, Choju is kind of nice because it is a level 6 monster already, so you can immediately tribute it for the Herald.
Absolutely is. I definitely do agree. And honestly, like that IP Masquerena just did not seem great. So giving up 2 monsters for IP Masquerena or giving it up for Choju to extend your stuff even further and then maybe even go later into the IP Masquerena just seems so much better. But first of all, we're going for one of the original Exceed monsters of the deck. We're going for Drytron Mu Beta Fafnir, which will be able to send 1 monster from the deck to the graveyard, and we have decided on good old Drytron Meteonis Draconids. I did not expect him to send that one, honestly.
Yeah, Drytron's very unique in that they summon ritual monsters using attack rather than combined levels. So you're using 2 level 1s to make a level 12, which is pretty cool.
As long as the level 1s have 2000 attack, that's perfectly fine. So we are going to tribute the Benton right here for a tribute summon.
That's even better, because now we get to trigger Choju and the Benton, and there's an impermanence on the Choju. But honestly, if you ask me personally, I would say Ricardo is fine with that impermanence. Of course, he cannot get the surge effect off of Choju there, but his setup already looks kind of nice, and you are happy with your opponent having less cards in his hand, so you don't have to negate that much anymore.
The question is, are you able to get to the Herald?
I would hope so.
Because I think that was the play that was supposed to get the Herald out for him.
Well, I mean, we have Benton. We can search it right now, right here.
You just have to have a ritual spell to summon the Herald.
We already added back the Meteonis Drytron, so that would be a possibility, right?
Yep.
But let's see.
I've never seen somebody tribute away the Benton for a tribute summon to get its effect. That's really fun.
Yeah.
It's really good too, though. Okay, but we do not go for the Herald. We do instead... I mean, we do go for a Herald, but not the Herald we were expecting. This is Herald of Orange Light once again being added.
A Herald, but not the Herald.
Exactly.
A
But
few
maybe
formats ago,
enough of a Herald here.
A few formats ago, this was the Herald.
Indeed, yeah. Okay, we have Meteona's Drytron. We added it back, reducing the attack points of Umbeta Fafnir, so this is only 1,000 now. But what are we going to Ritual Summon out here? Ricardo doesn't seem sure himself there. What are we going for? Are we just going to summon out the Draconids, maybe? Oh, look, we are using 2 monsters from our hands. 2 Drytron monsters, but one of them is Gamma, so we can get more monsters out of the Gamma in the graveyard now. And we indeed are going to summon out the Draconids.
But we haven't decided on the attack or defense position yet. That is still to be found out.
We're in between, but it has been decided. It is the attack position, and Kazalek immediately grabbed his cards in hand. Like he has put them down to the table, but as soon as the summon was made, he kind of grabbed them back up. So I'm kind of expecting an Ibiru here, maybe. Is that a thing? Is he going to have that too?
I'm just peering at his hand now, but my eyes aren't sharp enough to see whether it's there.
Same, to be honest.
I think I saw a Shyama, I thought Escape, which is already halfway a decent start into the game. I mean, the Escape at least.
Yeah, exactly. But Shyama is really not that
doesn't
great.
really do anything.
You were confusing me for a second there, because obviously they have quite similar names, the Unchained, and I was like, is Shyama not the one I think it is?
No, it is definitely the one.
Okay, Ricardo, what else you got? There's another ritual monster in his hand. So I think we have the Herald of the Orange Light and another ritual monster, but we do, first of all, go... Oh, yeah. Oh, it's Idarton that he has in his hand. That's a card people normally don't really play, but Cyber Angel Idarton is a card that Ricardo decided to play, and he's now revealing it for the effect of Drytron Delta Altace to draw an additional card, and he did pick up Triple Tactic Talons. If that impermanence would have been an effect Vela, it would have been so much better for Ricardo here. But Kazalek did not play into Talons here just yet.
Also, very interesting, I want to mention that Draconids is so good against Unchained, because it sends monsters to the graveyard. It can send, I think, 2 at once. You can banish 2,000 or 4,000 attack points of monsters. Attack points worth of monsters, it's interesting. And target 1 card for each 2,000 attack points, and then send them to the graveyard. So you can play around.
Yes.
You can play around the good old Unchained monsters.
For sure, that sounds a lot better. So maybe Ricardo just didn't even want to go for Herald of the Perfection here, because he decided Draconids is actually a better interruption versus the Unchained strategy. And now we also do go for Linkuriboh. We have IP Masquerena, so another way to go into the SP Little Knight again, as we did in the first game. So this looks decent. I'm fine with this.
I also love Linkuriboh plus IP Masquerade. I don't know if there's a way to get another monster on the field for him later on, but just to have the option to say, hey, you can't just summon a monster and threaten to go battle phase to run over the IP Masquerade. I have the Linkuriboh right here.
Yeah, that's pretty decent. Okay, but Kazalek, normally you would think is just passing, setting one and then maybe going for a pass, but no, it is a set one, and that's a start for the Unchained strategy, because we can just now activate, for example, Shavara in the hand to target this card and then maybe destroy it, triggering the effect in the graveyard, of course.
It definitely plays with your hopes a bit when they just set one and you think, oh, are they going to pass now?
Nope, it's not happening versus Unchained. They are going to do something, and in this case, we are going to activate the effect of Unchained Twins, Ruha.
The question is, when are you using your Draconids? Your
honestly, yeah, it's Draconids, but I think you just go after the first two monsters they have.
Right?
Yeah, just go after them, get rid of them, and hope it's enough. That's my approach to that, but maybe it's just me.
I mean, the thing is, as soon as there's a Yama on the field, there's already a lot of value on the side of Kazalek. However, I mean, what's happening after the Yama? I think you can let them go for Yama and then another monster and then send those away?
Potentially, yeah. But now Ricardo is also asking himself the same question, because now there is the Arua and also the Rakea. So are we immediately trying to go after this? Problem with the Rakea, though. So Rakea has a quick effect, so you can't really do it here again.
This looks like threatening battle phase now. Could be a good idea.
Yep, I like it too.
I like this a lot, to be honest.
You can't really let your opponent go into the battle phase, because there's a lot of tricks you can get up to with the Unchained deck using Rakea.
Okay, so we do go for IP Masquerade at the end of the main phase, summoning out SP Little Knight again. And I mean, of course we are going to activate the effect, but most likely Kazalek is going to respond to that. And then we have to think whether we want to respond to that again with Draconids, still making sure to banish both of them.
I mean, I think after that you can wait, right?
Or maybe wait, you can just chain the other effect of SP Little Knight, right? You can just go for the first effect of SP Little Knight and then go for the other effect of SP Little Knight to make sure the card that Kazalek is targeting is going to be banished. I like that a lot, honestly. SP Little Knight is accomplishing quite a bit here.
As it is supposed to, one of the best cards we have in the game right now.
Indeed. Age of Overlord really brought us a gem there.
Okay,
Yep, exactly. So SP Little Knight doing the job, banishing itself as well, and banishing the Rakea. Great stuff. And we still have the Draconids. I love this. Oh no, not Dark Contract again. Uh-oh, that was trouble for Ricardo in game 1 already. Is it going to be trouble again?
When are you allowed to use Draconids? Is it any time? You can just use it
Pretty sure
whenever?
it's a quick effect, yeah.
Yeah, it is a quick effect. I'm just saying that now with full confidence. Yeah, during your opponent's turn. Okay, all right,
Anytime.
that is probably any time. Just not on your own. So that's important, but not for this turn because it is the opponent's turn, in fact.
Ooh, oh, we go after the Dark Contract. So Ricardo was had problems with it last game, and he doesn't want to see that happening again.
To be fair, isn't that...
The judge maybe said you are not... and Ricardo does not like this normal summon. Tour Guide of the Underworld coming to the field.
Wow.
And does Ricardo have another fairy?
Oh, yes,
he has to.
does.
He has to. Herald of the Orange Light is going to negate that. And Kazalek is picking up his card.
All right, here we go, game 3. It all comes down to this in round 5 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series here in Bologna 2023. And we are immediately starting strong on Kazalek's side with the Tour Guide of the Underworld.
That is absolutely the start you want to have with the Unchained deck.
Ringing out good old Rhino Warrior, yeah.
It's pretty much like most of the combos are 2-card combos, and this is pretty much 2 cards in one because you get the 2 monsters, one of which gets you the Shavara as well. So this is an absolutely beautiful start, especially when it goes uninterrupted.
Yeah. It's crazy to me because when the new wave of Unchained support was released in the beginning, players didn't pick up on the Tour Guide technology just yet. So people were playing it without the Tour Guide package at first, and now the card is just the best card of the entire deck, honestly.
Easily.
You can dodge cards like Infinite Impermanence and Effect Veiler with just the effect of Shavara. Ash Blossom is a little bit more difficult. We have experienced it a lot of the time already, that if Tour Guide gets Ash, you might not have follow-up if you didn't draw a lot of engine. But just one-card combos that lead to big fields are just insane. It's incredible.
I do agree. So there is going to be Unchained Soul of Rage. And we are going to use... we are going to reset the trap first of all. Fair enough.
Also, if you're unsure what Kazalek is doing right now, we also have maybe a little combo tutorial. You have seen one already so far with Jessica. We might have one ready for Unchained, no?
Oh, we might.
I couldn't possibly say.
Okay.
How would you know, though?
All right,
exactly.
but Kazalek already having 2 level 6 monsters on the field again. That, of course, is going to be an indicator for another Exceed summon. And yep, there it is. We are going to go for the DDD Wave High King Caesar once more. Oh, he almost summoned in attack position, but then he quickly decided defense position it is. Oh, and I think, is he going to pass on this? It seems like it.
Maybe this time the Droll Knockbird will make an appearance.
Yeah, there must be still a lot of good cards in his hand, because this setup is just 1 set card, and that set card probably isn't even anti-spell fragrance, because you kind of need the trap to the chamber to bring back the rage here, I would assume. Oh, instant fusion! And I mean, instant fusion is a card... He did not negate the instant fusion, no? We just did not negate the instant fusion, and therefore we have the opportunity to bring out the Millennium Eyes Restrict here.
Excuse me? Millennium Eyes, of course, a very powerful card, but I was absolutely sure that you would try to negate this. Maybe he's trying to play around Triple Tactic Talents, but I mean the deck plays around Triple Tactic Talents quite well, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's just some sort of mind game. You know, if your opponent just confidently activates a spell, you can just negate. And you just say, oh yeah, sure.
Okay, so next up we're going to activate the effect of Alpha, tributing Alpha, and that is being met, I think, with the effect of Caesar,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, he knows it's there. We have settled the debate. Castellatz knows he has the Caesar.
Yep, okay, we're chaining it.
Maybe he just prefers to negate the Drytron monsters.
Yeah, maybe also he doesn't have a hand interaction, so he doesn't really care about the Millennium Ice Restrict.
No, I can definitely see there's a Drawn Lockbird in his hand.
Oh, alright.
Maybe he just wasn't expecting Millennium Ice Restrict.
Yeah, that is also a possibility.
But what would be another fusion monster you're going to summon out with instant fusion?
Elder Entity Norden. I don't think so. No.
I don't think so either.
On the Forbidden Limited list, and it's on the Forbidden side.
Yep. Okay, so Shavara coming down.
I like this. So Millennium Eyes Restrict would prevent the Shavara in hand from doing anything once it resolves, but if you chain it, obviously, then it can still activate.
But now the Drawn Lockbird is open, right?
Yes.
Alright.
Alright, okay. We are banishing the Yama. Of course, activating its effect to bring back Rage now as well. At this point, we're not playing around Triple Tactic Talons anymore, of course.
So I think now Triple Tactic Talons to take something would still be kind of strong, right?
Yeah,
or
probably.
Would now be strong.
I mean, not really, right? Because you can not really comfortably take the Caesar. Oh wait, you can take Caesar and then you can even negate the Rage. That's kind of cool.
Oh, we are going in with the Kurikara
again. That's nice. Game 1 he had it. Game 3 again. Is it this time going to be the deciding factor of this game?
Gonna get the Dark Contract out right here. The question is, how much follow-up does Ricardo have? Because he has invested quite a lot of cards. I think there are 2 more cards in his hand. He used Instant Fusion, Kurikara, and 2 of the Drytrons. And now we're going to see a Unicorn. This got the Dark Contract, trying to get rid of the Millennium Ice Restrict, and it works.
Well, you have to summon Unicorn because you can't. You can only summon Fiends this turn once you've used the effect of Shavara.
Yeah, you are right. No access to SP Little Knight there. And now Ricardo. What's left in his hand? He's laughing.
I don't know if that's a good or a bad sign.
Same, to be honest. Same.
He just seems to be having a good time all round. So
which is fair enough. He's 4-0 in the tournament. He's having a featured match. I think his day could have gone worse. Oh, another Kurikara, tributing the Unicorn now.
Now the question is, can you find a way into another level? Oh,
triple Tactics Thrust. That's not too bad either. What are we getting here, though?
Oh, preparation of rights is a possibility. You have an unused Drytron effect in your graveyard, so you can fetch a Benton right there.
Either that, or maybe Drytron Nova, that's the top card, but I like preparations even better. I agree with you. That's a good one, for sure.
That one would be met by Drawn Lockbird then, for sure, right?
Yeah, so maybe if you want to play around Drawn Lockbird, just go for the Nova instead, then.
I don't think you can play around Drawn Lockbird at all in this situation, right? You can't just play with one card.
Oh, but he does go for the Nova, which is good for him, because honestly, he can still at least set up a Zeus here with this.
No, he has indeed got 2 level 1s.
Yeah, you can just use the Kurikara as one of the materials there. Okay, Nova is being activated, bringing him another Drytron monster immediately to the field. Straight up special summoning it, and we go for the Zeta.
Now this could be a big Beta Fafnir turn, a big Zeus turn. Probably down.
Yeah, Beta Fafnir, of course, also going to send more stuff to the graveyard.
Yeah, the thing is, what do you attack over? I think you can safely attack over Shavara.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
There's no other, because if you attack a Ruha, then you can get met with Abominable Unchained.
Then you're in trouble, yeah. Then you're definitely in trouble. You shouldn't do that for sure.
Shavara was already activated this turn, so there's no follow-up cards that are...
But I mean, there's also Downed Magician in the extra deck of Ricardo, so we can go for Zeus with 4 materials, and therefore we can get rid of the cards that are already there, and then we still have a Zeus sent for next turn, so that's cool. Oh, okay. We can get the... Meteonis. Oh, what are we attacking? That was a wild attacking move there. That Beta Fafnir was flying all over the field of Kazalak, but we decided to run over the Shavara there. Okay, there's Downert. And of course, the beautiful ultimate rare Zeus.
Can you say the entire name just by heart? Don't look at the card.
Divine Arsenal AA Zeus. Sky Thunder it is, of course. How would I not know that?
Definitely did not look at your screen first.
Need the full effect as well. No.
Let's not read it out. Okay, but that's good. That's good. That's what I was saying. Oh, he does not even go for the first Zeus effect, so he just wants to keep both of them for the opponent's turn.
I quite like this actually because there's really no need. The Aruha can't really do anything.
Oh, okay,
by itself.
Rakea, first of all.
I'm not sure if there was no need for it, because now if you have the... All right, the Aruha destroys something when... Oh, yeah, okay.
I mean, this has been
Agreed.
sort of punished by exactly Rakea because now Abominable Unchained Soul.
But I mean, you can just chain now because he's using the effect of Rakea. You kind of have to chain here.
Definitely. I do agree on that, because otherwise, yeah, Abominable is going to punish you really hard. And we are going to detach the two cards that might be valuable in the graveyard, get rid of Aruha and Rakea. And Kazalat is... I mean, he has more cards, far more cards. He has 3 cards in hand.
Oh, and he has
Zeus
the contract.
Oh, yeah, he discarded one, but he had another one in hand already.
Okay, contract wants to search out the Vice King again.
Dark contract with the gate.
And Ricardo really thinking about this. Do we have to respond? And yes, he decides that it is time to use the second effect of Zeus. And so Zeus now left with 0 materials and Kazalak with 2 cards in hand. Is there anything else he can extend with? 3.5 minutes left on this. Is it going to go back to Ricardo, or does Kazalak have something else?
Kazalak, this is not a drill. You need to set a card now and then activate Shavara from hand.
Oh, he's setting a monster.
But he used Rakea already.
Yeah, we normal summoned already.
Rakea,
There was a normal summon, so there is not going to be the chance to set a monster.
The thing is, what can Ricardo do? He really needs to draw into something that can be discarded or tributed.
There's
basically.
Plenty of cards, to be honest. Yeah,
but if he doesn't draw one of those, if he draws into an Impermanence or a Herald of the... that would kind of work as well, right? If he draws into something that he cannot discard, then he might be in trouble. But other than that, this looks good for him.
But there's another card that he can set as well. So the monster, of course, didn't work. But what is this? Oh, it's anti-spell fragments. That must have been the draw for turn, because otherwise that would have been on the field.
Yeah.
Oh, and there is one of the newest additions to also almost every single one's extra deck. That is going to be the new Super Star Slayer Typhon Sky Crisis. And that's indeed a pretty good answer. And yeah, we did summon the Downer, we did summon the Mubeta Fafi, and of course the Zeus. So the requirements for the summon of the Typhon were definitely met there.
Getting some valuable damage in there as well. 2 minutes on the clock. This is looking grim for Ricardo right now because of the Super Star Slayer Typhon. We thought this was going to be a pass, but Kazalak found a way to summon another monster and just went with the... Oh, we're going
the
to
Lightning Storm is going to trade. That's funny.
But we have a pass here, we have the Meteorus. This draw wouldn't have even helped him. This would have given Kazalak another turn just with 3,000 damage on the side of Ricardo. So we're going to see another set card. Is that a good thing? Is that a good thing?
I think it's another anti-spell fragrance. I'm calling it.
Oh, but he can use the Shayama.
Oh no, this time it's Impermanence. Okay, okay.
But it is still a Shayama on the field, and we're getting really close to enough damage to win the game for Kazalak. Ricardo is at 2,100 life points now and needs to really draw something. He really needs to find a way to deal damage at that quickly.
Do we think he was just attacking for 2,000?
Yeah, we were in the battle phase.
To infinite impermanence. You'd rather just have a 2,000 attack monster. So what's he going to do?
Reasonable question, honestly. Reasonable question to ask. I do agree. That is... he did that so quickly too, right? He just wanted the Shayama on the field. He didn't want to be without anything to protect him from the next attacks of Ricardo, potentially. And now Ricardo, this draw is very important. This draw may turn it around, but he just sets a monster and it goes back over to Kazalak. So that was probably just some kind of hand interaction, maybe an Ash Blossom or something that he picked up there.
Okay, and now what are we going to draw on Kazalak's side? He is checking his extra deck. There might be a possibility to summon something. Is there another Fiend that he can normal summon?
You just go into the battle phase. Oh, it was Herald. It was Herald.
It was the Herald. Normal summon of the Droland Lockbird, and now we are going into a Link 1 or Link 2. Can we actually do something? Oh, we're going to the Unchained Soul of Rage.
Is it right that Ricardo dropped down to 100 life points? Because he shouldn't have taken damage there, right?
No. I mean, for all it matters.
Oh, Cyber Emergency Bow has been picked up. So Ricardo has a chance to play. With 30 seconds left on the clock, he has to be quick. So, come up with something, Ricardo, please.
This is something that could add up in an OTK with a filled graveyard. We are going to search out the Delta. I hope it is the Delta, at least. It is absolutely not.
Nope, it's Gamma. This one's Gamma.
Thank you so much.
And then we use the effect of Alpha in the graveyard, discarding the Gamma. And yeah, we resolve the Alpha first. Sure. But Kazalek already indicating that he wants to on-resolve, use the effect to get rid of the Alpha and the Rage itself. And SP Little Knight also joining the party.
Yeah. SP Little Knight now looking at the graveyard of his opponent, banishing something off of it, because SP Little Knight can just do that quite easily. Now deciding on a target. There is still the Benton in the hand. Benton can be discarded. Another special summon, another search, but will it be enough? The time is over and Cazalet wins that game versus Ricardo.